Hey, this is Markus from Subsignal and
Arno, also from Subsignal.
And you're watching
Live Prog!
Hello music friends, we are here in Oberhausen in Germany and as you might see we are in a bus. This is the tour bus of Subsignal and I'm here with
Arno
and Markus.
Having me? How's the tour going?
Already?
Yeah. How is the tour going so far?
Excellent. No, it's pretty good actually. We thought it might be a little bit difficult concerning how many people will show up. Yesterday we played in Ludwigsburg and a couple of miles was Karlsruhe where Transatlantic were playing, and we thought, okay, maybe
they still are customers,
yeah. And probably a lot of people will go to Transatlantic, but it was really cool. Our club was packed and great crowd, and I think we're getting better every night.
As a band, yeah, but also you see a lot of difference at the moment with the numbers of people that are showing up at our shows. We had to work really hard from the beginning with venues, with, if we were lucky, 30 people, and we don't seem to. We have like 32 now, so we're really satisfied.
Oh, it's going up, yeah. So that's very good.
We see progress.
It's paying off, all the hard work. Yeah. How long does Subsignal exist?
Well, actually we founded this band in 2007 when we were still in Sieges even. And it was originally intended as a side project where we could write songs that didn't really fit into the CGC vein. But after the split in 2008, I guess we turned it into a real band.
Yeah, that was quite clear. The moment that we said, okay, let's leave this ship, this sinking ship of Sieges Even, and all it took was one email and said, okay, now we're gonna continue with Subsignal and make it into a main band, a real band, and that happened quite quickly. So to form a band.
Yeah. Okay. So then, well, you recorded a few albums already. You had a while ago you released the third album, Paraiso. Can you tell a little bit what the idea behind the album is?
The original idea, musically, was to write an album which was more compact, you know, in terms of songwriting, because its predecessor, Touchstones, was like a real monolith, you know, with very long songs, and the whole album was like 78 minutes long. And this time we tried to really focus on the songs, you know, to the core of the songs, and yeah, that was the musical idea, to make things a little bit down to the point. Yeah, it's not really a concept album, but some of the songs really deal with what we are dreaming, the things we want to achieve in life, and also disappointments in life when dreams do not come true, things like that. And that's somehow interlinked with the cover and the title of the album, Paraiso. It's your own Paraiso that you have in your mind, and I'm not talking about beaches somewhere in the Caribbean.
It's my Paraiso.
It's yours. But what can you achieve in life? With how far can you go with the things that you pursue? That's basically the idea behind it. But it's not really a whole story that goes through the album.
The title is in Portuguese. If I'm correct.
Yeah, it's also, I don't know, it's in Portuguese as well, but it's actually Spanish. You know?
Okay.
Paraíso.
Yeah. Well, why the choice to do the title in Spanish or Portuguese?
Yeah, because it also works if you pronounce it in English, but if you in English they say Paraíso, and I think it sounds great. And as you might know, back in the days, Arno and I, when it was before we did the reunion with Sieges Even, we had a band called Valparaiso, named after the city in Chile.
Okay.
But this was only like for 1 year or so, with the Holzbart brothers, until we finally said, okay, this is not Valparaiso, this is Sieges Even, let's do it again.
Yeah.
And since those days, somehow this word haunted me. It also appeared on the Art of Navigating album with the song Blue Wide Open, and was also the city Valparaiso mentioned. And so it's a little bit something from my vocabulary that I'm using
every day, every single fucking day.
Yeah, every day. When I wake up, Arno,
can I get a Valparaiso? Oh, you mean a whiskey?
Yeah.
No, don't disturb me. I'm on the Valparaiso. Oh, you mean the toilet?
Yeah. So yeah. So this album was some sort of my rehab.
Okay.
to get away from it.
To get away from it. Okay. So that's why you called it Paraiso.
Yeah.
You still can hear it and get it mentioned a lot of times. Okay. And the design from the
From your
artwork?
T-shirt.
Who did that?
Thomas Eberhardt.
Okay.
She's an artist we've already worked with in the past. He did the first Sieges albums after the reunion, the Paramount and Navigating album, and I think he did some work on the Touchstones album.
Yeah.
And now he did the whole artwork for Paraiso also.
Yeah. But the idea behind it, did he come up with that, or did?
Well, this was originally my idea, you know, we talked about the concept, and yes, also our manager said, "Oh, wait, we can also do the idea with the brain, you know," and that really appealed to me. Some people say, "Oh, this is disgusting," but I think this is so fascinating, you know, what is possible with this little thing in your head, and all the dreams that are produced, everything is just in this little piece of meat, brain meat, whatever you call it. It's I like the idea of the brain as your
hard drive.
And so we talked about it, and we gave the idea to Thomas, and he really just, I think it was just 2 or 3 sketches, and this was it was really good, and he also did the whole booklet, and we said no, it's perfect, nothing to add. It was really great working with him.
Yeah. I like the cover. I also especially liked what you did with the limited edition, or the other version where you have the live CD with it. You have that holographic idea, which is very nice. Was that also something you wanted to do, or?
That was also an idea from our management. He said let's try this one out, and you have to bring the people, when it's a limited edition, you have to bring the people something. A bonus, an extra, and he came up with that idea and discussed it with our record company and with Thomas, and it worked out brilliantly.
Okay. On the album you have one guest, Marcella Bovio, from Stream of Passion. How did you come up with asking her for that song?
Well, actually, I knew her voice, and I thought when we said, okay, Blueprint must be a song for male and female voice. Yeah, we came up with a few names, and I suggested her. Actually, we never met, unfortunately. The rest was pretty simple. I contacted her via Facebook, and we sent her a song, and 2 days later she said, "No, I don't like that."
But you can
And then we offered her a lot of money. No, and she said she liked the song, and she was willing to do it, and yeah, it was pretty easy working with her. She recorded the stuff in Holland. So yeah, this is how things work these days.
Okay, so you haven't really met her?
No, during the recording I was talking with her. Her Dutch is fluently.
Okay.
And but we exchanged only like 5 mails. So I said maybe you can add a little bit of this and leave a little bit of that. But this was like 1 mail, and the rest was up to her, and she did a brilliant job.
Yeah, that's the modern day technology. You don't have to meet anymore. You can just do everything. But who knows? You know, it would be nice that you will one day finally play in Holland, and then she can join in on the live.
We talked about that. Also, then Markus would be really happy.
Or then we can marry.
I'm also.
She talks more than the letters.
Well, what I did notice on the live DVD is that you had a backup singer, with which you also sang a duet, and you have a backup singer now as well. So you find that important to have an extra voice on stage?
So one tour we do it, the other tour we don't, but we did it for the last couple of tours, and it worked out really well. Also because we have this a couple of songs that have female voices in it, so we decided. But next tour it could be different again.
Okay. It just depends on
the weather.
Or the operation.
Good thing the weather's good now. That's good. Now you are in the middle of a tour, and you also have a show planned a bit far away in the United States at, I believe, Rosfest.
Yeah.
Was that a surprise for you guys to get a chance to play there? Did they invite you, or?
Yeah, they did. They contacted us, sent us an email, and yeah, it was also pretty easy, you know, because they're really professional there, and yeah, I think we thought about a couple of days, and what they had to offer was really fair and reasonable, and so we said yes, we do it. We really would like to do that. It's the first time in the USA.
Yeah.
So looking forward to it.
Yeah, Rosfest is it's a big festival in the United States. So okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it's excellent.
And then after that, the tour's over, and then what happens next?
And maybe we have some shows coming up, but I think we're already in the process of writing the next album, and then after the tour is finished, we really
we'll focus on that.
On that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So any no. I'm not asked that.
Too embarrassing? It's too embarrassing?
No.
Mag best hoor.
You can ask us anything.
Okay. But if I get an answer, then
That sounds like a dare. That sounds like a dare.
That's an answer. That's the question.
Or why Marcelo Bovio?
It's bothering him, right? Is that the most important question you had to ask all this time?
Yeah.
Because she's I didn't have time to prepare.
Inside joke.
I know 2 points.
Yeah. Okay. I can understand. Yes.
I never heard her voice. She's a good singer. I saw a picture of her.
Otherwise he had a problem now.
Well, next time you have to invite her. You know, come do 2 songs. You know, then come here.
Do 1 show. Do 2 shows. Do 1 tour.
Stay in my house. Get married.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
Have some kids.
Have some kids.
But when you start working on a new album, do you already have some basic ideas that you know a direction in, or?
Well, normally we just start from zero and see what comes out. But within the fourth album, we already sat together, and it's probably going to be a concept album this time, and I think very different to Paraiso, from what we have written so far. And I think, I mean, this is cliche, but people will be really surprised, because this is probably something some people will not expect from us.
Okay. Because I remember when I first heard your music, it was presented sort of as progressive metal, and then I heard Touchstones, and I found Touchstones had a bit of heavier edge to it. And then I heard Paraiso, and then I kind of didn't hear any heavier edges in it. It was much more melodic and very accessible.
That's what happens in the press, you know, because we were never a progressive metal band. We have some, of course, we have a metal background. Patrick can go for that.
I can know everything. You're always to blame, man.
No, but
Tell us, Patrick.
that's what they write about you. But I think in a way we were always a progressive rock band. We were a rock band, a melodic rock band with progressive influences and some metal influences. But we were never a progressive metal band. We were never metal.
To me, it's like colors that you can use if you have heavier guitars. And
We were never a red band.
It's like when you paint a picture, and then sometimes you need some darker colors, and sometimes a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like a brush, you know. And and for this album, we thought that the songs are
Pink.
Yeah, pink. So no heavy guitars.
There's the dress again.
So ask us anything,
The pink color.
Sorry?
The pink color for Paraiso or for what's coming?
No, not.
Horizon was very pink, I think.
Next one will be black.
Having grunts on it. Can you grunt?
No.
Okay.
I can't even sing.
Yeah. No, okay. So because I'm not entirely familiar with Sieges Even, but Sieges Even was more progressive metal band then?
When they started out, yeah.
Yeah, it was progressive.
It was
metal,
like in the vein of, I'm not gonna say it, it starts with a W and ends with an R. So you do the math. But then it developed into something else, like dark orange or something, and then it progressed to like
More progressive.
no, but Sieges was more progressive, and in the beginning they were more metal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
Okay.
From that they evolved more into progressive rock.
And then when you moved into Subsignal, you kind of continued that line.
Dit happened to natuurlijk.
Hello.
It happened when I got into Sieges, even because I had a kind of different background than those guys. Those guys were like they had a metal background and a lot of Rush and Fate's Warning and stuff. And I was like a diehard AOR fan. And that's how those styles got mixed, and we just it just evolved more in Subsignal because we got more space. We added a keyboard also, and that's where it finally grew out to what it is today.
Okay. So and you two are the main composers of the band.
No, I'm just a poser, but not a composer. Markus is the real, the big man, the big brain, the big behind the.
Actually,
And they took a photo of it.
We left it in also. No, it is. I'm really honest to say that Markus is the driving force behind Subsignal, and I sometimes jump or make a nice picture, and that's where I come in.
Okay.
You're the pretty face. I'm the pretty face.
You may ask a question, Hans.
And is there any interview when there isn't a comparison between Sieges Even and Subsignal?
No, up to date, not. It gets less. Yeah, but the name is always mentioned. But that's also not something that we are getting angry about or something, especially Markus, because he's been there from day one. Of course, I was just some pretty boy that jumped in.
But there always is.
There always is.
Of course, it's
Like an X-Y.
But that's the same. This is a stupid comparison. What I think that when David Lee Roth left Van Halen,
Yeah.
keep that Van Halen in mind. That he was always asked about his former band too. This is your roots, yeah.
I
And
don't
that's
have a
how you
problem
go.
with that. You know, it's my history.
And it's something that he can be proud of also. We can be proud of.
Yeah, he must be. Yeah.
It's like
Will
an
be.
ex-wife.
You always get asked about your ex-wife.
How was your ex-wife? Really good.
Okay. There have been a few, well, I don't know, I know at least one lineup change in the band on the drums. With Parisa you also got a new drummer, Daniel Badorf, and he's also from Dreamscape.
Yep.
And I believe Ralph is also from Dreamscape. And David also?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
We stole them.
you stole them, okay.
Now,
So I'm going to assume something. It wasn't very difficult to get a replacement drummer then, or?
No,
Was it
it
still
actually
difficult?
wasn't that easy because Danilo in the first place was a little bit worried about his current job, and he said, I don't think if I have the time, and so we tried out a couple of, so we didn't really try out, but we asked a couple of other drummers, and in the end Danilo said, no guys, I think I'm able to jump in, and yeah, then we said like he was like our first choice, yeah, and then we said, yeah, of course, then come along and join us on this wonderful ride
In a nice bus.
in a nice bus, yeah.
How is it to be living in a tour bus for a few weeks with Paul?
A few weeks.
How long is the tour?
It's been a long one. It's one week.
it depends how much you sleep.
Two bands and crew and everything in one bus.
Yeah, it's intense.
It's intense, yeah. And you have to be able to withstand smelly feet and puke. And
There's been a lot of puke on the show.
Very romantic.
Yeah. In other words, it's very romantic.
To the nitty gritty.
You managed to get some rest, or is it?
Yeah, sure.
No, that's no problem.
That's no problem. We live downstairs here, and then upstairs is like total
Chaos.
Yeah.
total chaos. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's yeah, of course you have to shift in all of us, you know. Just so you have to count with that one is taking a dump there, and then you have to wait for a little while.
Yeah.
But
After a
that's-
while, you don't wait.
you don't wait. You just take your dump here, right in the path, in the middle of the path,
Then you do an interview.
and then you do an interview.
Okay. All right.
Should we interview you?
I got you can leave me. Yeah, sure.
We have no questions,
No
unfortunately.
questions.
We have no answers, also.
Tell me all about live rock.
Yeah, tell something about live prog.
Yeah.
How much time do you?
Shall we go?
Shall we call it a day? I mean,
A day.
To you.
That's up to you. You have the questions, you know. We have the answers.
I have no questions anymore, so
You didn't
I don't know
prepare,
if
did
you.
you?
I didn't prepare. No, I admit. You know, I was hoping you wouldn't notice. I was hoping you wouldn't notice.
Who's bringing it?
I quit!
No, I know. That's
I quit the band!
I quit this interview!
I quit this
Oh.
interview.
Hot news.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome very little.
For taking the time to do this totally
recover.
unprepared interview.
Our pleasure.
And good luck with the show.
Thank you.
And have a great time in the United States.
Yeah.
At Rosfest.
Yeah.
And I look forward to the new album.
Me too.
This is the tour bus of Subsignal, and I'm here with.
Subsignal. Sorry, I have no other answer for you.
We didn't prepare.
Okay. Yeah.
End of interview. We're done.
That was it.
Dankeschön.
That was it. That is a spontaneous interview.
Yeah, right.
Very short interview. All right.
What's your name? Arno.
Okay. Let's
Talk.
try to talk.
Let's try to talk.
I mean, we have some people next to us
For the
making
backup.
certain
For the
noises.
backup.
Yeah. All right.
Certain noises.
Sorry, I have to.
You can all cut it out.
I cut it
Just
out.
cut it out.
I'll just add some bloopers at the end.
Nou lijkt het net of het door ons komt. Het is net of het tot door ons komt.
Yeah, I'll blame the guys sitting next to us. You can't see.
Blame us.
We stole
We
his
always get
questions.
blamed. Also.
Yeah.
Some of the songs are somehow interlinked to the cover and the title of the album. Still rolling?
No, it wasn't rolling.
You have to start all over again.
Well, if we have a little break, I have to check one thing. Oh, sorry.
The thing is rolling.
Something is rolling. Rolling.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I have this one in view as well, but that's okay.
It's good to be alive.
That's the nice thing about a cozy tour bus interview. I am sorry. Please continue.
Yeah, and concerning the lyrics, it's, as I said before, it's not a real concept album, but
We're done. Yeah.